Hey everyone, this is Psychedelic Actualization. Today we're gonna take a look at a very interesting topic, psychedelic retreats. They've been gaining a lot of attention lately and I think the market is just starting and retreats are popping up here and there, right? And today we're gonna look at what are they, what do they consist of, and why are they important or useful. And I'm not alone here today. I interviewed Agnieszka, the founder of Transcend Mind. It's a psilocybin retreat it's a German psilocybin retreat in the Netherlands, which I'm going to be participating as well. And we're going to talk about all of these topics today. It's going to be a 3-part video series over the coming weeks. So enjoy! Because there are many ways, right, to structure a psychedelic session. We can go into solo journeys, which is what I'm doing most and which I'm also displaying here most at this channel, right? We go and we feel comfortable to go into journeys alone. Sometimes in nature, sometimes inside, with our own playlists, maybe an eye mask, and we psychonauts explore this space. Also, there are 2-person sessions. That's what I'm doing sometimes as well, right? When I feel like, okay, something is too intense, or I might feel more comfortable to have a sitter there as well. Then there might be 2 people in the room, 1 people sitting for the other person as a support. But then also we have, for example, all this psychedelic therapy field where there is a therapist or a guide in the room, while the participant is kind of the client and is going into the journey for their own healing. All of these studies and all of the research that's going on, that's going in that direction. Also, we have small group sessions with friends or with other people, or kind of a structured small group setting, or kind of also communal ritual settings, which we see a lot in the ayahuasca community, or also just like public settings, right, outside while having fun. But there's all these nuances, right, of a shaman, a sitter, a guide, a facilitator, and all of these words are kind of meaning a little bit of a different thing, and there's a different style of ceremony. So today we're going to look at this retreat setting, which is, I think it's a really interesting concept to have a look at this retreat setting, because there's no like unique ultimate approach for different practitioners, but we have all these varied structures, and some of them have been proven very effective, and some of them there's also a little bit of risks and dangers involved in those settings, which we're going to look at in the coming weeks as well. But all of these kind of vary tremendously, right? And it's important to understand the nuances between these different roles and these different types of retreats as well, right? With the shaman, a healer, a facilitator, a therapist, or just a sitter. Because each of these also bring kind of their unique style into the room, into the ceremony, into your own personal experience when you choose to be there. So, what exactly are psychedelic retreats?
At the core, psychedelic retreat is a safe space where you can explore psychedelics with experienced facilitators and being guided through the journey beforehand, during, and afterwards, and also to connect with like-minded people that are on a similar journey with you.
Simply put, they're just like organized programs, basically, where participants can sign up to use a psychedelic substance or plant medicine in kind of a more controlled, supportive environment. So a lot of emphasis on the setting, right? These retreats often take place in a natural setting, ideally. I've heard of ayahuasca retreats in the middle of the city, but I wouldn't want to go there. It would feel kind of a little bit weird or uncomfortable. I don't know. Maybe also an interesting experience, right? But usually they're like in forests or mountains or wherever where there's a little bit of a peaceful retreat experience, like retreating back, right, from our normal day-to-day life, from our apartment, from our home, from our routine, to have kind of this immersive retreat experience and really be able to focus on the psychedelic retreat. And the goal of a psychedelic retreat is kind of to facilitate this deep personal and spiritual exploration of whatever intention you set for your psychedelic journey, and to have kind of this transformative container. And psychedelics like psilocybin, ayahuasca or LSD are commonly used. And we also see more and more like ibogaine retreats, or I haven't seen a proper peyote retreat. This is kind of more traditional ones, but you see this field is developing, and there's more and more coming up into the field. So what does a psychedelic retreat usually consist of? It's a few key parts. Kind of before the retreat begins, participants often have a preparation phase, right? Setting intentions, mental, physical health, evaluations, and sometimes a little bit of detox from caffeine, alcohol, or processed foods. And the retreat is also playing a part, ideally, in the preparation process to support this. Then we have the ceremony itself, right? The core retreat. Kind of you go there and you have a ceremony in a safe, controlled environment with guidance, or just like the space holders of facilitators. And there's a lot of nuance that goes into that as well, right? Music is a big part in a lot of retreats, and also the different kind of expertise, style, and experience of the facilitator who are providing that support. And then after the experience, we have integration phase in the retreat setting as well as outside of the retreat setting. So maybe there's sharing circles, there's a sense of community, or even one-on-one discussions with an experienced practitioner to process your experience, to integrate it, and to really, make sense out of the experience, just be able to share it, be able to feel understood as well, and to then afterwards maybe as well incorporate it into your daily life. A lot of retreats are not offering integration sessions after the retreat is over, after the participant is coming back home. That's kind of, most of them are left alone, but also some retreats do take care of the integration part of this retreat setting as well, and of your own experience. So why are psychedelic retreats important?
Firstly, psychedelics are extremely powerful if you are on your healing journey, and it's backed up by science and backed up by many stories from people who went to retreats. On the other hand, setting is extremely important for your psychedelic journey. So if you go to a retreat, then if you go to the right one, you can be sure that you are in a safe space, in a great setting, in order to having a good session. And this is extremely, extremely important, that for the first part, the dosage is right, that you are in the right mental state, and also that you feel safe in where you are. So this is extremely important. On the other hand, it's also that it can be a bit daunting to maybe just go to one particular facilitator and just be by yourself, like in a one-on-one session. For some people, it works fine, but it can be a bit daunting. So being in a circle with many facilitators can be quite nice. And also, again, like there's so much healing in the sharings of the others and hearing their stories and where they came from. And so it's extremely powerful and extremely helpful. And again, if you're going to the right retreat, you know for sure that the setting will be right for you, and that you will experience a great transformative journey.
So yeah, psychedelic subjects can be highly suggestible, right? When we're in the psychedelic space, everything is open up, and we're highly, highly, highly suggestible at times. So having kind of a responsible sitter or guide or facilitator is crucial for safety and kind of maximizing the benefits and minimizing the risk. And because I've had this ayahuasca experience, right? You can watch the video right here where I was kind of in this, it felt like a cold setting, and the shaman or facilitator was preaching during the ceremony and was singing horrible sounds that didn't resonate at all. So it can also be like a very dangerous place if we're not able to choose consciously and with care of what retreat we're going to go to. And we're going to go into that in the couple next videos. right? And these retreats often kind of offer, but they offer space for healing, for personal growth, for awakening experiences. And they can help us to really process deep-seated emotions and bring life-changing insights, as psychedelics can as well without a retreat setting. But in the retreat setting, it's really, it puts an emphasis on our process for ourselves as well. And here in the West, kind of in our traditional Western society, oftentimes, at least I've noticed for myself on my path, and also I've observed it in other people, right? This community part is missing as well. This community structure is missing. So many people find it helpful to go to retreats, to find this connection, to find like-minded people, to have a shared experience, even though you could do that without the retreat setting. But it's a beautiful place to come to experience that, right? However, let's look at some critique as well, because it's not all fun and flowers and sunshine, right? Because it's important to also look at some of the critiques, because it's not in the nature of the Western mind to give such power directly to the plant. And the danger here is kind of that we look for babysitters. We look for prophets, for shamans, for healers who can heal us, for experts in the field who can hold the space for us. And that prevents us from going into our own process ourselves, fully trusting the plant, fully trusting ourselves. And so a retreat could be used as an excuse for some people to say, I'm not going into psychedelic space because I need to have somebody there. And then also putting the facilitator or the psychologist or the therapist or the shaman on a pedestal above, and as him kind of controlling the space and the substance, but not trusting your own wisdom, your own authority, your own courage to navigate the psychedelic space. I want to end with a quote from Julian Palmer. He said, I do not think we should necessarily consider the guide to be superior to a shared experience and exploration, but when people are just starting out, having a good guide can be very useful in order to begin to make friends with these states. And I think this is a crucial point of why retreats are important and why it's very beautiful to have these offers of these retreats, because many people are afraid to go into psychedelic space. Many people are afraid to tap into these states, to meet themselves, and then to have this safe setting and this a supportive environment and this togetherness in the experience is very helpful for them to take the first step into this space, and then maybe even discover that they can explore and find the trust to go into psychedelic space themselves. So yeah, that's about it. That was a little bit of a deep dive into the question, what are retreats? What are psychedelic retreats and why are they here? And whether we're seeking personal healing or spiritual growth or just community, I guess these retreats offer kind of a very unique and transformative container to tap into these experiences. So thank you very much for watching. As I said, check out Transcend Mind, the retreat setting, which I'm going to be participating in as well in September. It's a German-based retreat only for native German speakers, but it's going to be my first psilocybin retreat experience. I've only journeyed with psilocybin by myself, so that's going to be an interesting one. And also, if you want to prepare for an ayahuasca experience of yours, if you plan to go to an ayahuasca retreat, I did write a completely free ebook for ayahuasca preparation. You can download it for free. Link is in the video description as well. So thank you very much for watching. All the blessings. I appreciate you being here. Enjoy and much love.